Waste hauling in St. Paul, as in the majority of Minnesota cities, is performed by many separate haulers under what is called an open system. This system provides individuals with greater freedom in choosing their hauler. However, the open structure allows each consumer to choose a hauler independent of their neighbors. This increases the volume of trucks needed to collect garbage, leading to greater pavement degradation, larger levels of harmful air pollutants, and higher costs for consumers and the public at large. Ann Hunt is the Director of Sustainability with the Office of the Mayor in St. Paul, Minnesota. Ann previously served as the Executive Director of the St. Paul Neighborhood Energy Consortium, where she helped establish Eureka Recycling as the exclusive hauler for St. Paul's curbside recycling program.
I think currently residents like the freedom of choice, that they can pick and choose a hauler and they don't have to have one assigned to their home. That a number of people change haulers or shop around for a more competitive price. People felt very strongly about supporting the smaller independent garbage hauler. They were worried about the larger monopolies controlling the garbage. They wanted to support the small independent businesses.
Jay Coggins is a professor of economics at the University of Minnesota. Professor Coggins offers a different perspective, highlighting the drawbacks of the current open system.
Well, I'm a resident of St. Anthony Park in St. Paul, and I've watched with dismay as all these trucks come through my neighborhood for a long time, and lived in a city before this where the city hauled all the garbage and it was part of your tax bill. And I'm quite sure it's more expensive here than it was there to have that service provided. It's vastly more expensive to have all of these trucks come through and pick up every fifth or sixth person and then go a block over and pick up one person there than if one hauler were doing it all.
Minnesota Pollution Control Agency recently did a report on and looked at cities that had open hauling and found that the prices were really high, that they varied by hauler.
As a study done by the City of Falcon Heights shows, St. Paul's open collection system costs more in each category.
Garbage is regulated under the Interstate Commerce Clause, and so you have to follow very clear rules and guidelines and if you were going to be changing your system.
It's noisy. It's inconvenient. 7 trucks pass down the alley behind my house every week.
There's been complaints about the number of vehicles on the streets. It's clearly one of them. I think people have been concerned also about the wear and tear on the streets.
A study done in Roseville showed that, by the Pollution Control Agency, showed that the cost in wear and tear on pavement in streets and alleys is between $20 and $40 per household per year, up to $300,000 for the city per year.
The impact of trucks on the streets and alleys of St. Paul is much greater than you would think. In fact, the force exerted on roads by garbage trucks is nearly 1,300 times greater than that of a typical passenger car.
And so I know that the pollution, the particulate pollution from these diesel truck engines, is a real threat to public health. Something over 24,000 people a year die early because of particulates in the air.
There are clear problems presented by St. Paul's current system of waste collection. Still, it is possible to maintain the positive elements of the open structure while reducing the problems of increased maintenance and public health risks.
We've seen a number of neighbors in some neighborhoods are coordinating garbage service themselves. They're kind of coordinating that, see if a hauler would bid on 10 households on a block and trying to see if they can get a more competitive rate.
Waste Management, for example, who was my hauler then, would offer a 25% discount if we could get 25 people in one small area, according to their definition of a contiguous area. Each of the people who agreed to be part of that group would save 25% on their bill. Maplewood is looking to do this. They're hoping to get 2 haulers. It will be a designated pair of haulers who have all of the market.
There is clearly a good reason to pursue an organized system. Current policy is focused on freedom. Freedom to choose a hauler, but also the freedom to pollute. The freedom to ignore the external costs of the high volume of garbage traffic associated with St. Paul's open system. The current system ignores the impacts on public health on public roads, and the role of climate change as St. Paul transitions to a more sustainable future. In fact, the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency estimates a 75% reduction in carbon dioxide emissions by changing from an open system to an organized system of waste collection. Since we conducted our interview with Professor Coggins, Maplewood has made the switch away from an open system. Now Maplewood has just one hauler serving all of its residents. Numerous roadblocks stand in the way of St. Paul transitioning in the near term, but you don't have to wait for the city to make the change. Talk to your neighbors and pick a hauler that best serves the needs of your community. Doing so will not only ease the public harm caused by heavy garbage traffic, it will also ease the strain on your pocketbook.